Have you ever stopped to wonder why other people crush it financially and seem to have like these beautiful lives, but you're not where you want to be? I'll tell you what, it all comes down to conditioning and programming. Absolutely 1000%. Everything in this universe is from the quantum. What does that mean, right? You know my handle here, Frequency Girl 5D. Let's talk about it. We are part of the one fabric that's created worlds. We are not separate. Religion has told us that we're separate, that we have to worship somebody, that there's someone above us that's going to save us. The reality is codes were left for your empowerment, but most of them have been dismissed or misinterpreted. There were even books out of the Bible that were taken out, and those are the ones on self-empowerment, right? This is not up for debate. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is that we are inherently divine and creators, but we've forgotten it. And as we come into these bodies that we've created, up until the age of 7, we're like a sponge. Our brain waves are in theta, meaning, you hear little kids, like older children will have them say something naughty because they think it's funny. And the little one mimics them. They're like parrots. They soak up everything they hear. Same thing with us. Every single thing that we saw in our life up till 7 became our belief systems, including how our parents handled money or didn't. My German coach, she always tells a story that her father, when the bills would come in because they didn't have the money, would put them in the drawer and it's going to be okay, and just ignored them, right? Did she have money issues growing up? Of course she did, but she rewired them. So it's about rewiring the mind. And when we see somebody else crushing it, if we feel like this pang, like, oh, it's not fair, I don't get it, we're still in lack mode. So it's about rewiring that. But every single thing we experience comes from our state of being. Our state of being determines the circumstances that we experience in the outer reality, not the other way around. Now, you weren't taught that as children. Why? Because we've been disempowered for centuries, for millennia, actually, right? But the reality is you have the ability to rewire that, right? So when you're seeing people, like if I put posts up with the wins in the digital growth community, and you see people crushing it, that's not some made up thing. They're doing it. Why? Because they've gotten rid of their money story and they know that they're worthy and deserving. And I used to hear this a few years ago and I didn't really understand it, right? Even though I've been into metaphysics and quantum physics for a long time, layer upon layer, we're like onions. We have to unpack things, right? And finally, I'm like, yeah, you are worthy and deserving just because you are. Just because you are. Because you are alive. That's why you're worthy and deserving. Why? Because the God, if you want to call it God, source, the quantum field, the unified field, whatever name you choose, goddess, because I'm a priestess, you're part of that.